like introductory video of this course, then you must be know that now we are going to start with arrays. Now, what is the requirement of an array? What is an array? And how we can use an array in our program? See, before starting this lecture, I would like to say that if you are planning to do competitive programming, if you are going to start with some programming or coding part and you want to be expert in it, then array is one of the most important topic. In the interviews of companies like Microsoft, Oracle, Amazon, etc., the questions based on arrays are asked frequently. So I just suggest that you just understand the basics of an array and then try to implement your knowledge or say the thing you have studied in this chapter in other programming language as well. So arrays is a concept which can be implemented differently with different programming language. Now, what is an array and why it is used? Let me ask you one question. What if I tell you to store multiple values inside single variable? When I have taught you about variable, I have told you that variable is kind of a bucket. Say the name of bucket is A, that means name of variable is A, and at a moment of time A can hold only one value. If user have entered 15, then 15 will be added to the bucket of A. Right? If user are entering 16 to it, then the value 15 is replaced by 60. So at a moment A can have only one value. But what if I tell you to add more than one values to variable A? We cannot do that with simple variables. How we can do that? We can do that using an array. So if I just give you a definition of an array, then array is a collection of values which are having same data type. One condition of an array is that whatever value, whatever similar type of values they are adding, they must be having same data type. So if I am adding integer value to the bucket, then all of this value must be integer. If I am adding float value to the bucket, then all of the value must be float. If I am adding character value to the bucket, then all of them must be character. We cannot take say one value of integer and another value of float. This is all about an array. How many types of arrays are there and how we can declare arrays, that I am going to show you through my coding part. So let me just begin that. So for that, I have to first open new project. Inside this, I am showing you that how you can, why array is needed. So first I have to write include stdio dot h. Then int main. Right? Now I have to write return 0. Now if I am writing just A and if I am taking say scanf %d and A, then the value that can be inside A is say only one single value. Now if I am writing a scanf %d and A, you can also write it inside loop. I'll show you that also. And at the end I'm printing value of A. This is very simple program, right? If I just save it, demo of arrays. If I just save this program, compile it and run it, what is the issue? Include stdio. The spelling was wrong. Now, if I just compile it and run it, it is asking me to enter one variable. So I'm entering 3. So as soon as I hit enter, that means the value 3 will be included to my bucket of A. So now if I print value of A right now, then it will be 3. But as I have used toScanf, it is asking me to add another value to A. Because as I told you that I want to add multiple values to it. Will it be happening over here or not? That we will see later. So again I am entering 6. Now I hit enter, then printf will be executed. That will print the value inside A, the latest and last value of it. So if I am hit entering, you can see it over here that 6 is printed. That means every time, even if I have used scanf for 10 times, only the last value will be printed. So let me show you that also. So here instead of this, I am just writing loop over here. Int I for I equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus, and here inside the loop I am just going to use scanf. So scanf is going to be executed for 10 times. So 10 times user will be able to enter number, but what will be the answer or what will be the value that is printed over here, that we will see. So if I just save this program, compile it and run it, you can see it. First I have to enter 1, then 7, then 12, then 8. I am entering the random number. 6, 13, 2, 2. Okay, so 2 is printed, 22 is printed over here, right? And even if you are executing this several times, you will observe the pattern that every time the last value is printed. Why? Because as much as I am entering a values, it will just consider the latest value of an array. This is not an array, latest value of a variable. Every time it is replacing the previous value, and at the last it will print the last value. So how can I add multiple values simultaneously? That can be held inside the variable, so that's why array comes to picture. So why we are using array to hold multiple values? But you can see it as a disadvantage of an array, that in arrays we cannot add different data types of different value with different data types. So you cannot add integer value with float value. The data type of an array element must be same. Now how I can declare arrays? For declaring arrays, I have to write first, let me write a common syntax in command. First I have to write data type, then space, then array name. Array name is similar to variable name, so you can give any choice of name. And then in bracket, box bracket, you have to give size of an array. Okay, one more thing you have to consider, that as array is having more than 2 values, how I can identify any value? That I want 5th value, or I want 6th value, or I want 10th value. So for identifying them, array values are given indexes, and array index starts with 0. For any damn programming language, array index will start with 0, and you must remember this thing, because students are making mistakes initially when running the programs of an array. So make sure that you have studied matrices in your mathematics, right? In mathematics, you start the row number with 0, same as in array, because array is nothing but the matrices. We have basically 2 types of an array, single dimensional and multi-dimensional. I am going to talk about that. Right now, currently, I am just talking about single dimensional array. So how you can declare array? Suppose I am writing integer array, so that's why I have written data type as int. Then array name I am taking as a, because I want to show you that a can hold more than 2 values. So a and size. Now what will be the size? Say 5 and semicolon. Now tell me, just pause the video and just think that what will be the index value of this array. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 5 elements are there. So index value will be starting from 0 to n minus 1. If the size of an array is n, then index value will be starting from 0 to n minus 1. This is called single dimensional array because in this array we don't need 2 indices to identify the element. Here only if I am having just one index value, I can just identify the element, the array element. Now I will show you that how you can perform an array. Right now if you just print this array is having garbage value because we have not put any value inside that. How I can put the value? Scanf. So I am taking value from user. So for that I am writing the same code that I have written. What will be the difference? I am telling you. And a of, see, if I am just writing a, how it will be know that whether this a is variable or an array? Similarly, also when I am doing scanf, I am telling user to enter one value to my memory. In which portion of a the value of a is added? So I have to use index as well. Which number? So for adding a value at index 0, I have to write and a of 0. Similarly, for 1, I have to write 1 over here. Please ignore the index part over here, indent part over here. This is not needed as I am just copying it. It is showing me this indent. Indent is very important for Python, not for C programming. For C programming, semicolon is so much important, not the indent. And 4. Right? So now what is happening if I am just saving this program, compiling it and running it, it is asking me to enter say 5 value. We will see. I am randomly entering 4, 12, 3, 4, 5 and program exiting. Now what if I want to print? If I am printing a value, say print f %d. I am doing /n so that it will be printed from the next line. What will be the value over here? Can I write only a? No. I have to write a with index. And at that time only a of 0 is printed. And value will not be replaced, it will be remain same for each of the array elements. This is the use of an array. Now, is it feasible to every time writing this kind of code? Is it good code? No. So what I can do, I can just remove all of this. Just pause the video and think how I can optimize it. Just do not go to the solution directly. So here I can use loop for I equal to 0. I am starting I with 0 because array index starts with 0. So make sure that you don't do this mistake of starting it with 1. I is less than array size, that is 5. So loop will be happening from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 only. For 5 it will not be executed. And I plus plus. Inside the scanf, can I write a of 0? This means every time I am adding the value inside a of 0, I cannot write it because at that time it will just replace the value of a of 0 for each time. I have to write index over here which is I. So here I have to write a of I. And if I am printing a of 0 over here, then it will give me only the value of a of 0. What if I want to print each value of a, array a? I have to just copy this and pasting it over here, and here I can write printf instead of address is removed. Right? If I just save this program, compile it and execute it, what is the error over here? I is not declared. I have to declare I. So I can also declare I over here. Save this program, compile it and run it. Now I am entering just random value 4, 8, 8, 9, 12. See, 4, 8, 8, 8, 9, 12 is printed, but as I have not formatted it well, it is not giving good out. Let me just use /n for that. If I just hit F11, 12, 8, 8, 8, sorry, 9, 9, 8, 12. So 12, 8, 9, 9, 8, 1, 2, 3 is printed. So different value is printed. And this is all about single dimensional array. Now what will be the multi-dimensional array that I am going to tell you in my next example. So multi-dimensional array means to identify one element I have to give two indexes. If I just give you real-time example, then you all know about matrices. Matrices is having rows and columns. Say A of 3, 3 matrix is there. So matrix A is having 3 row and 3 column. If I am just writing A of 3, that means only the third row. So A of 2, that means only the third row, because indexes will start from 0, 1 and 2. So A of 2, that means only third row. Now from third row, which element I want to pick, that will be decided by the column number. So for identifying the last element, I have to write A of 2, 2. That means the element on the bottommost corner, I have to identify that element, and that's why I have to give two indexes. You can also think it as the patterns we have already covered in our for loops. So if you have understand the patterns, then you must be well aware about the matrices as well. So this is the same concept. How I can identify the two-dimensional arrays. For identifying two-dimensional arrays, I have to write whether what will be the size of matrices. But two-dimensional array is having rows as well as column. And here the value will be like, say, A of 0, 0, A of 0, 1, A of 0, 2. This means A of 0, 0, 1 means element of first row, first column. A of 0, 1 means element of first row, second column. And that's how we can represent it. Here we can represent it as 1, 0, A of 1, 1, A of 1, 2, and so on, according to the size of an array. So what will be the change here? Can I directly write A of I only? No. I have to declare another index, which is j. For column 0, loop will be, for row 0, loop will be going from 0 to 3. Now for each row I have 3 columns. So I have to write loop inside loop. So for j equal to 0, j equal to, j less than 3, j plus plus. And this scanf must be inside of this, and here I have to write j. Do you understand this logic or not? For I equal to 0, the inner loop will execute for 3 times. For j is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2. Then jth loop can be implemented, but ith loop will be exited. So I become 1. Now for I become 1, j will start from 0, 1 and 2. Same for I equal to 2, j will start from 0, 1 and 2. Now I become 3, but for 3, the condition do not match, so it will just come out of this outer loop and it will try to execute the following statements. In the following statement, in the print statement also, I have to consider 2 loops. So for that, I am just writing printf I and j. Here, let me just execute this program. Here I am just entering random number 12, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 7, 12, 8 column. It is printing correctly. Now I will show you that how you can print it in some good manner. In a manner like matrices. I have already covered the patterns. You know about patterns. Now instead of the triangles, what if I want to print the square or rectangle shape? How I can print? What I was doing in that, I was saying printf /n for each row. Here also, after printing this, I was giving you can also give tab over here, or you can also give tab separately with printf statement. If I just save this program, compile it and execute it, and let me just randomly add 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. You can just see. Here it is not printing good. Why? Because see, okay, what mistakes I have done. I do not need to give tab over here. I need to give tab over here. And I am just not giving tab. I am just giving 2 spaces instead of tab. Let me just compile it and execute it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see the output over here. It is printing like a matrices. This is how you can print a 2-dimensional array. In exam, mostly the 1-dimensional array and 2-dimensional array is asked. They do not go for multi-dimensional array, but even for the multi-dimensional array, you can use, for 3-dimensional array you have to use 3 indexes, for 4-dimensional you have to use 4 dimensions, and for n-dimensional array you can use n indexes. Right? So it is not very difficult to write short note on that. In exam they may ask you about the declaration of an array. Now one more thing I want to cover in this is, here you are dynamically taking value from user. What if I don't want to take value from user? I want to directly give value to user. How I can initialize array? So for initializing an array, you can directly write something like, in curly braces you can write as, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In curly braces you can write this. If I just save this program, compile it and run it, it is directly printing this because I have statically given values. So array must be, now you know that how array is declared. If they ask you about the initialization, then array initialization can be done in 2 ways. First way is by statically at compile time by just initializing the value, the way I have initialized over here. Second is dynamically, just go to the previous code that I have done. In dynamic initialization, I am taking value from user. So you have to write the scanf syntax that I have written in my previous code, right? So this is what about an array. Let me also cover how you can initialize one-dimensional array. For one-dimensional array, whatever the size of an array is, you have to give that much elements. So here only 3 is printed here. This is not required for one-dimensional array. And here you just need to print a of I. This is static initialization, and I already covered how you can dynamically initialize it. This is how you can just initialize one-dimensional array at compile time. So this is all about arrays, single-dimensional or multi-dimensional or say 2-dimensional arrays. Now from next lecture I am going to talk about the programs that you can perform using an array. I am again repeating it. Array strings and array and strings especially are one of the most important topics that are asked in competitive programming, as well as you have to study this in your higher semester subject algorithms. So whenever you are trying to implement the programs or algorithms, array are very much important. Even if you are preparing for GATE exam perspective, arrays are one of the most important topic. So if you have any doubt, you can just comment below the comment section. I'll make sure that I clear your doubt. Thank you so much. See you in the next class.